you know about Wonder Woman is a half-truth.
We were sold a story of white marble and Greek perfection.
But a secret was buried beneath 1,000 miles of dust.
In Africa, a warrior myth lived long before the comics existed.
This is Paradise Lost, and the truth is darker than clay.
History is written by the victors, but the maps don't lie.
The Queen of the Amazons had a secret she couldn't bury.
Two sisters, born of the same soul, but divided by the earth.
One was raised in the light, the other was stolen. In 1941, the world met Diana, but they were never told about Nubia, the lost sister, the guardian of the gates of Tartarus. While Diana fought in man's world, Nubia fought the demons of hell. She was the first Wonder Woman, the original warrior. But why was she scrubbed from the history books? Because the truth was too powerful for the world to handle. The African roots of the Amazon myth go deeper than Greece. Enter the kingdom of Dahomey, home of the real-life Amazons. The Minot, women who hunted elephants and defied empires. They didn't need gods to save them. They were the gods. Compare the armor. Compare the spirit. The inspiration is undeniable. But Hollywood took the fire and turned it into a fairy tale. Now the desert is giving up its secrets. A lost tribe, the Bana-Mighdall, the Amazons who left. They rejected the Greek gods. They chose a different path. They moved through Egypt, through Sudan, into the heart of the sun. They traded immortality for the truth. The split was bloody, sister against sister. The first civil war of the Amazons was fought in secret. And that war is exactly what James Gunn is about to show us. HBO's Paradise Lost isn't just a prequel, it's a reclamation. Think Game of Thrones, but with the fate of mythology at stake. We are going to see the hidden city of the Bana-Mighdall. The weapons aren't gifts from gods here. They are forged in blood. Diana will have to face the ghost of the sister she never knew. And Nubia is coming back from the Island of Shadows. She brings the darkness of Tartarus with her. Will they fight for the throne, or will they fight for each other? The old world is dying. The new DCU is rising. The African warrior myth is no longer a footnote. It is the main event, and it starts now. To find the truth of the Amazons, we must travel to 1840. This is the kingdom of Dahomey, and these are the Minot. The world called them the Black Amazons. They called themselves mothers. They weren't born into paradise. They were forged in a furnace of war. They took an oath of celibacy. They married the king. They married the state. Their training was brutal. If you couldn't endure the pain, you couldn't lead. They were the most advanced military force in West Africa. When the French invaders arrived, they expected an easy victory. They didn't realize they were fighting the real-life Wonder Women. The Minot didn't retreat. They didn't surrender. They hunted. They dismantled empires with nothing but steel and strategy. King Gezo knew their power. He gave them the status of men. They were the first female special forces in human history. But as the sun set on the Dahomey Empire, the myth began to twist. The stories were taken back to Europe, refined, filtered. Writers took the idea of the woman warrior but stripped away the origin. The fierce reality of Africa was replaced by the clean myth of Greece. The lion was replaced by the eagle, the machete by the sword. But you cannot kill a bloodline, you can only hide it. The archives are finally being reopened, and the truth is screaming.
Hidden in the oral traditions of the Iwe people is a prophecy. The prophecy of the twin who would unite the two worlds, a star from the north and a star from the south. The separation of the Amazons wasn't geographical, it was spiritual. One side kept the magic of the gods, the other the power of the earth. This brings us to the Great Migration, the walk of the Bana-Mighdall. They walked until their Greek sandals wore away to nothing. They embraced the heat. They embraced the struggle. They built cities that the Western world would never find. They watched the world change. They watched their sisters forget them. On Themyscira, the elders claimed the African tribe was a myth, a political lie to keep the peace, a forbidden history. The queen knew the truth. She had a daughter in the sand. Nubia wasn't just stolen, she was hidden for her own safety. Ares wanted a weapon, Hippolyta wanted a survivor. She grew up in the wild heart of the continent. She found the clues of her origin in the dirt. The realization that her life was a lie was her first battle. The bridge between Greece and Africa was built on a secret, and that secret is about to destroy the DC universe. 1973, the world was changing, and DC Comics couldn't look away. Writer Robert Kanigher decided to break the ultimate taboo.
He gave Diana a rival. He gave her a mirror. He gave her Nubia. She didn't come from Themyscira. She ruled the floating island. In their first meeting, they didn't embrace. They fought for the crown. Nubia wasn't just a sidekick. She was a powerhouse who matched Diana's strength. But her origin was steeped in a darker magic, the magic of Mars. Ares had stolen her from the cradle to create the perfect warrior. She was raised in the sliding rocks, a place where mercy was a death sentence. Ares used a ring of mind control to keep her his slave. But the Amazon spirit is impossible to cage. She broke the spell. She realized she wasn't a weapon of war. She was a princess of peace. The dark clay myth was finally out. The twin sisters were reunited. But the reunion was bittersweet. The damage to the timeline was done. DC didn't know how to handle two Wonder Women, so they buried her. For decades, Nubia became a footnote, a trivia question, a ghost. But time is a circle, and the African warrior was waiting in the shadows. The fans started asking, why is the most powerful black woman in DC invisible? In 2021, she finally reclaimed her throne. She became the queen. She proved that the African myth wasn't just a variant, it was the foundation. This leads us to the biggest plot twist of all, the Bana-Mighdall. While Nubia was in the underworld, her people were building an empire. The Bana-Mighdall are the lost Amazons of the African continent. They rejected the Greek gods. They chose the Egyptian deities instead. They worshipped Sekhmet, the goddess of war and healing. They became mercenaries, hardened, realistic, mortal. They didn't have the immortality of Themyscira. They had to earn every day. This created a massive cultural rift, the holy versus the hardened. And this rift is the heart of James Gunn's Paradise Lost. When Diana finally meets her long-lost cousins, it isn't a hug. It's a clash of ideologies.
A clash of roots. The Bana-Mighdall consider the Greek Amazons cowards for hiding. They believe the Amazons should have ruled the world, not hidden from it.
This is the political drama that will redefine the DCU. Nubia is the only one who can bridge this gap, the only one with both bloods. She will have to decide, is she a Greek goddess or an African warrior? The answer will change the fate of every Amazon in existence. The forbidden lore is forbidden no more. The gate is open, the desert is calling, and paradise is finally about to be found. 10,000 miles from Greece, a different kind of paradise was forged in fire. The Bana-Mighdall didn't have the luxury of immortality, they had the earth. Led by the rebel Antiope, they turned their backs on the Greek gods forever. They saw the gods as jailers. They saw Themyscira as a gilded cage. The Great Migration was a trail of blood, sand, and defiance. In the heart of Egypt, they found a new protector, Sekhmet, the Lady of Slaughter. They traded their Greek prayers for Egyptian power. They became the Bana. They weren't just warriors anymore. They were mercenaries for hire. For 3,000 years, they guarded the secrets of the Nile. They became the shadow twin of the Themyscira, the sisterhood that forgot how to love. When the two tribes finally met again, the Mediterranean ran red. The Bana-Mighdall saw Diana as a pampered princess playing at war. They called themselves the true Amazons, the ones who stayed in the world. They watched empires rise and fall, while the Themyscira hid behind a fog. They forged their own artifacts, weapons designed to kill gods. They fought the Romans, they fought the Persians, they fought the French. Their immortality was their legacy, passed down through blood, not magic. They were a continental network of power, invisible to the history books. Until today, when the modern world finally caught up to them. This is where James Gunn's Paradise Lost changes the game. Imagine the tension. 2 queens, 1 throne, 1,000 years of resentment.
Gunn has promised Game of Thrones vibes. This is the heart of the conflict. To the Bana-Mighdall, Diana isn't a hero. She's a traitor to her roots. This is the lost in Paradise Lost, the loss of a unified sisterhood. And Nubia, she is the only one who belongs to both worlds. She is the bridge, the mediator, the potential savior. But can she stop a war that has been brewing for 3 millennia? The prophecy says the desert will swallow the island, a literal shift in the power of the DC universe. The era of the Greek fantasy is over. The Bana-Mighdall aren't coming to visit. They are coming to reclaim. This is the political civil war that James Gunn is building. The secret archives will reveal that the throne never belonged to Diana. A sisterhood stolen, a history rewritten, a debt unpaid. Nubia isn't waiting for permission anymore. She is bringing the African warrior myth to the front lines. The world thinks it's ready for Wonder Woman. It isn't ready for her.
The motherland is calling its daughters back home, and the desert never forgets. Paradise is lost, but the empire is finally found. James Gunn isn't just making a show, he's reconstructing a mythology. Rumors from the set of Paradise Lost suggest a heavy focus on the Bana-Mighdall. The search for the lost sister is the industry's best-kept secret. Gunn has hinted that this series will be the Game of Thrones of the DCU. But you can't have a throne room without a struggle for the crown. Why Sudan? Because that's where the comics place the Bana-Mighdall. Gunn's vision is to bridge the gap between ancient magic and modern reality. Forget the golden lasso. Nubia's weapon is rumored to be the lasso of night. The dark clay origin is the perfect plot twist for a streaming audience. Imagine the pilot episode, the theft of a princess that starts a 3,000-year war.
This show is designed to transition us away from the old DCEU. It's not just about a new actress, it's about a new perspective. Themyscira is a fortress, but Africa is an empire. Nubia isn't just a warrior, she's a diplomat, a queen of the world. The music of the DCU is shifting. The rhythm of the heartland is taking over. The first season will likely end with the great reunion and the great betrayal. A mother forced to choose between the daughter she raised and the one she lost. The Greek gods are fading.
The Egyptian and African deities are rising. The impact of this representation will be felt far beyond the screen. Gunn knows that the fans are hungry for the real story. What if the Amazons didn't just have swords? What if they had technology? The Bana-Mighdall are survivalists. They adapt, they conquer. 2 Wonder Women, 1 planet. A collision is inevitable. This isn't just a theory. This is the roadmap for the next 10 years. Nubia is the hero that a new generation has been waiting for. The forbidden lore is the foundation of the new DC universe. From Lagos to Nairobi, the Amazon spirit is being reclaimed. The new paradise isn't an island, it's a global movement. The countdown to Paradise Lost has already begun.
The desert is coming for the marble, and the marble will crumble. She will be the one to hold the line, the one to heal the rift. A new dawn for the Amazons, a new dawn for the fans. The lore is getting bigger, the stakes are getting higher. The magic is evolving, and it's rooted in the earth of Africa. The movement has already started. The myth is reality. The Black Wonder Woman isn't a variant. She is the queen, and she's just getting started. Stay tuned, because the DCU will never be the same. The warrior is ready. Are you? The prophecy is fulfilled.
We've traveled from the temples of Greece to the red sands of Dahomey. We've seen how history was scrubbed and how a legend was reborn. But the story of the African Amazon isn't just about the past. It's about the warriors living among us today, the real-life Mino. Representation isn't a trend. For many, it is a mirror. DC Studios is betting the future of the DCU on this depth of story. Paradise Lost will be the moment the world finally sees the full picture. The sisterhood is no longer an island. It's a bridge to the entire world. Legacy isn't about what we take. It's about what we leave behind. The African warrior myth is the missing piece of the puzzle. And now that you know the truth, you can never go back to the lie. The gates are open. The warriors are here. All hail the queen. All hail the Amazon. This is the start of a new era. Are you ready for the revolution?
We are just scratching the surface of what James Gunn has planned. Thank you for taking this 20-minute journey into the forbidden lore. If you want more deep dives into the secrets of the DCU, make sure to check out our other videos on the secret history of heroes. I want to hear from you. Who should play Nubia in Paradise Lost? Drop your fan casting in the comments below. Let's start the debate. Hit that bell so you don't miss our breakdown of the first official trailer. This isn't the end of the story, it's just the beginning of the reign. Remember, every hero has a root, every myth has a mother. Find your truth, forge your legacy. One sisterhood, one world, one DCU. Respect the past, embrace the future. This has been Lore Reclaimed. Peace. Don't forget to smash that like button if you learned something new. Big thanks to our channel members for supporting these deep dives. We'll see you in the next chapter of the multiverse. The truth is out. Spread the word. The Queen is watching. Believe in the myth. Good night, and stay legendary. Watch more. Subscribe. Stay Amazonian.